everyone. This is Juli Clifford, and I'm a residential real estate consultant with Compass. And today, Julie's Community Spotlight is on a youth coach that I know, Mr. Shawn Vass. And I've known Shawn for a very long time. We've worked real estate deals together. But what I don't know about him is a lot about his coaching. And he is actually a local coach at Wakefield High School here in South Arlington. So I'm going to let Shawn take it away for a bit, and then I have some other questions I want to ask him. So Shawn, tell us about your coaching business.
Well, thank you so much for having me, number one. I really appreciate it, and I love the other videos that you have done. They're great. I'm a sports performance coach. I've been training and teaching sports performance for the last 26 years. I train amateur and professional athletes. I work very closely with the NBA Players Association. That's the union for the NBA. And every year I get the top 100 high school basketball players in the world. And I also get the top 50 HBCU basketball players through the NBA Players Association. I've worked with over 460 NBA players, and currently, right now in the NBA, I've worked with about 220 current NBA players. I've worked with the Washington Commanders team in the past, and I've also worked with the Washington Wizards. But my true love is working with youth athletes. I owned a business before COVID called the Sports Performance Group. And my business, we trained actually about 15,000 athletes in the Washington, D.C. area.
Wow, that's a lot. So so currently you are with Wakefield High School. So tell us a little bit about that. Who do you coach? Yeah, tell us about that.
Over COVID, during COVID, all the schools shut down, and I started training a few kids from the neighborhood up at Wakefield High School, and I met the athletic director, Mr. Nate Haley, and he asked me if I would like to come up and start coaching once schools opened up. And so far, I've coached. I've been an assistant coach for women's lacrosse. I love that team. And now I am the head sprint coach and assistant track and field coach, indoor and outdoor, for Wakefield. And I've also done some sports performance training for the football team and also for the basketball team.
Awesome. So what is your coaching philosophy?
My coaching philosophy is coach everyone. Just because someone may not fit the build for a position on a team, let's say if a person doesn't look like a sprinter and they want to be a sprinter, then coach them. Teach them what they need. Give them what they came out there for. Everyone comes out there, for a sport for a different reason. So I try to, if a kid wants to run fast, I'll teach them how to run fast. If they want to jump, I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you used to do. Let's coach you for what you want right now. Right.
That's awesome. So what can I expect from you as a coach in terms of, if my child goes out, my child goes to Wakefield and they're going out for, let's say, girls lacrosse, what can I expect from you as a coach?
Number one rule of thumb is have fun.
Okay. I like that.
If you don't have fun, it makes my job so much harder. I hate when I walk into a situation and for the first half hour, I'm just trying to get this person to engage. I play music at my practice. I smile at my practice. I ask my athletes, hey, how do you feel? Did you have a test today? How's everything going with your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Everything okay at home? How's your dog? How's your cat? All of these things are stressors. And I don't want to be a stressor to my athlete. I want to be a relief for my athlete. So having fun. Then I evaluate the athlete to see how they're doing mentally. And then we go through drills where I expect perfection. I don't want you to be dead tired after one of my workouts. I want you to say, hey, I learned something today. You may be dead tired, but you will have learned something in the process.
Right, right. So I know that you have had several athletes that have gone on to a lot of athletes that have gone on to greatness, and I know you have some athletes that played in the Olympics for Team USA. So how does that make you feel to know that that you were a part of making that happen for them?
I kind of take myself out of it. I'm so proud of them that they reached it. If I could put them on a path to reaching their goals and their dreams, no matter what it is, then I'm so happy in my heart. I celebrate with them. I look at the times where I missed the championship, or I missed the Olympics, or I missed a national championship because somebody beat my team. And I celebrate with them. I live vicariously through them daily.
That's great. What message do you have for the players who are representing your community?
Take pride in our community. Take pride in the school. I've noticed that there have been some garbage laying around and people will walk past it. And I'm saying they live in this community. They should want to pick it up. It's trash cans all over Wakefield's campus. And I see people walking past trash. On our field, I see trash on our field, and it's not necessarily from our athletes, but people that have used the field previous,
Right.
And take pride in it. If you have on a Wakefield, or you're from, Arlington, pick that trash up. This is where you live.
Yeah, you're representing, right?
Definitely. You need to pick up the trash.
Yeah, I like that. So on a personal note, what's the most memorable game you were ever part of? Or what's the most memorable competition, let's say?
Okay. I have two.
Okay, we have time.
There was this runner. His name was Michael Johnson. I think a few people may remember him. He had the gold shoes in the Olympics and set the world record in the 400 meters and the 200 meters. Well, in high school, I was number 2 in the country. And when I got to college, I was fearless. I didn't care who it was. I was going to run them down. I was going to show them who the boss was. I'm in Jamaica. I'm ready to receive the baton from my teammate in a 4x4 relay. And they changed positions, and they put this big 6'4" guy in front of me. I'm like, who is this guy? They put a high jumper in front of me. I'm gonna kill this guy. He gets the baton and takes off. I get the baton and turn and look, he's pulled 50 meters on me.
Oh my gosh.
I take off after him, and I see him pulling away from me. And I'm like, I'm in Jamaica getting embarrassed by a high jumper. And all of a sudden I start hearing footsteps. And I'm like, oh my God, they're catching me. They were my own footsteps.
Oh no.
When I got to the finish line, I saw my coach running to me, and I'm like, oh my God, coach is so mad. And he said, Shawn, you just ran 45 seconds. I'm like, oh my goodness, I ran 45 seconds. What did he run? And the announcer said, Michael Johnson has just run the fastest 400-meter split in history.
Oh my gosh.
42-1 for 400 meters. I was done. That's when I was like, okay, welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah.
My second story involves my rematch with Michael Johnson.
Okay.
Michael Johnson's senior year was my sophomore year. And indoor, our team, George Mason University, we had the fastest 400-meter relay time in the country. We led the race until the last leg of the relay. Patrick O'Connor was in front by 40 meters, and they gave the stick to Michael Johnson, and he caught Patrick like, and right before the finish line, he moved to the side of Patrick, looked in Patrick's face, pulled in front of him, and won the national championship.
Oh my gosh.
So Michael Johnson took many national championships from me. I'm still after him now.
So where is he now?
Michael Johnson actually does the same. We're in the same profession. He trains professional and amateur athletes in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So my hat's off to Michael Johnson. Thank you so much for pushing me in college. You made me a better athlete.
That's great. Those are two great stories. So how would you improve the coaching program that you are doing right now?
If it were at all possible, I would love to introduce physical therapy and also introduce recovery training such as massage or cryotherapy, introduce that to the kids, so they can recover more. It's not about how much work you do, it's about the quality of the work. And it's the old saying goes, you can't beat a dead horse. It's true, you can't beat a dead horse. Once you're tired, you're tired. And the kids have to learn other means of recovery. And in some instances, children or kids, young kids have used steroids. Steroids isn't just to make you big and muscular, it's for recovery. It's so you can train harder the next time. So if we can start teaching positive ways of recovery in high school sports, I think that would be a great addition.
Yeah, and that would probably help them in the long run too. I know the older you get, the more you the more you tend to have aches and pains, and probably if you had done therapy and things like that when you were younger, it might have helped once you get older.
I still preach that to all of my athletes. And like I said, Lee, my 90-year-old athlete, gets massages twice a month. And you can see the range of motion in his arms, in his legs, in his gait when he walks up and down stairs. It makes a difference. After his massage, he's standing up like this. Before the massage, he's a little bit like this. So make sure you can get those massages too.
So, okay, so tell me about that. You just mentioned that you have a 90-year-old gentleman that you're training. What does that look like?
Okay, the first thing we do is Tai Chi. Then we do A-skips where he claps under his thigh like he's marching.
Oh, yeah,
And that's gonna help him get up those stairs, because a lot of elderly people have falls, and it's because they don't lift their knees and their toe drags down like this.
Oh, yes.
I teach him to keep his toe up so then he can step up on the step instead of hitting it.
Okay.
We also do fast marching. We do weights with the bands. We do weights with hand weights. And we actually just got into doing push-ups. So we just started doing push-ups. We do doorway push-ups where he's in the doorway and he can lean to an incline and he can push on that doorway. So we do a lot of things like that, and flexibility also. We do a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago when I came to your studio that you had in DC, and this always stuck with me, that you were explaining how balance is so important, and you almost said, if you learn how to do one thing and keep that with you through your life, it's balance. And I've read a lot about balance, and how the older you get, the more how important it is that you work on your balance, because it's a lot of how elderly people end up with injuries and even die, because they don't, they can't balance, they can't, so.
One thing that I do is I tell people this: A professional athlete always wants to prove something. So the first thing they do when they come in to see me is they want to lift the heaviest weight in the gym.
Yeah.
And I tell them, stand on one foot without falling over.
For 10 seconds, right?
For 10 seconds. They can't do it. You
Yeah.
see them together, they say, hold on, I meant the other foot. No, I saw
Yeah.
I saw you
Yeah.
fall over. And what you can do is just hands to the side, knee up, toe up, stand on that one foot, and you're gonna feel that ankle start to work. If you can get that ankle strong, that's gonna save you from falling down throughout your whole entire life.
Right. Right. Yeah. I wonder
So
if AARP knows that.
I don't know. Well, I got my package the other day.
You don't look it.
Yeah, I got my package. In fact, it's sitting right on the table.
That's so funny. Yeah. So, you should write an article for AARP and just explain how that's, how having balance is so important. So I'm cognizant of that and I try and work on that. So thank you for that. Who do you think you look up to as a role model?
My role model, I'm very lucky that my high school coach is still in my life. He texts me about 5 times a day. It's absolutely incredible. We go back and forth texting, and I actually let him talk to my students now, my athletes now. I'll hold the phone up and I'm like, hey, Coach Holmes on the phone, tell him you love you. Say, we love you, Coach Holmes. And they say, we love you, Coach Holmes. It was him who showed us love more than anything else. Just by coming to practice was a joyous event. And therefore, we would do whatever running he told us to do because we wanted to come back. We wanted to be on his team. And I remember running through the woods with him on a 3-mile run every morning. And we had to stay back with coach, so we would have to run a little bit slower, you know what I mean? And he taught us so much. The simple fact that he still reaches out to so many athletes daily just makes me want to be more like him. So that's my goal now, is to be more like Coach Holmes.
It's interesting because I've done quite a few of these interviews with youth coaches, and when I ask that question, I almost expect that they're going to say, a professional athlete like a Tiger Woods, but almost everybody has said someone in their personal life. And a lot of times it was, a coach that they had in high school or junior high school or something, or college. So that really, I think that really says a lot. So why do you think it's important for kids to be involved in sports?
It teaches them adversity. I've always heard about the kids that got the participation trophy. And, I think a participation trophy should be pizza and ice cream after your event. Winning and losing is a reality of life, and just because you lost this time doesn't mean you won't win the next time. Just because you lost against this opponent doesn't mean you won't beat that opponent next time. It's the adversity that grows character.
I like that answer. Well, Shawn, is there anything else you would like to, words of wisdom or anything you would like to add in closing? We're pretty much done with all of my questions. So is there anything you want to add? Would you, I know you also coach adult athletes and former athletes. So if you want to give us your contact information so people can reach out to you, or how can we find you? Or
yeah. I can be reached at www.fastvass.com, FAST, V as in Valentine, ASS.com. You could give me a call at area code 202-345-3070. One thing I like to pass along is to spread love. right now, our world needs the love.
Yeah, true.
And, I always tell people, give 150% because you don't know who's watching. We have little kids out here watching. So, if you could give a spare change to somebody to help them out, helping a lady with her, an old lady with her groceries, or an old man with their groceries, help somebody that can't do their yard work, help them
Mhm.
with their yard work or something like that. Do that because it's our youth who's looking at us doing these things. So
Right,
let's continue
right.
to spread love and we can get rid of this hate.
Yeah. I read somewhere that if you don't learn, how to be charitable and how to accept people who have who aren't as fortunate as you by the age of 6, that it's very difficult to pick that up in later life. So I think that's definitely a great life lesson. And if you guys on Facebook, I see, Shawn and I are friends on Facebook, and every day he's posting about love, 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 love. And so you are such a great role model for me.
I'm lucky to have you in my life. Thank you for all
I feel
you've
the
done for
same
me.
way. I feel the same way. So, Shawn, this has just been such a delightful interview. I feel like warm and fuzzy inside now. So again, this has been a really great interview with Shawn Vass, and we'll have his contact information as well on the interview. And you can see this on parkbench.com. This has been Juli Clifford, Juli's Community Spotlight. I am a residential real estate consultant with Compass in McLean. And if there's anything we can do to coach you through buying, selling, or investing in a home, you have my contact information. Please reach out to me. Again, Shawn, thank you so much. This has just been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Great way to start my Monday.